Here is the house. It is green and white. It has a red door. It is very pretty. Here is the family. Mother, father, Dick, and Jane live in the green and white house. They are very happy. See Jane. She has a red dress. She wants to play. Who will play with Jane? See that cat. It goes meow meow. Come and play. Come play with Jane. The kitten will not play. See Mother. Mother is very nice. Mother, will you play with Jane? Mother laughs. Laugh, Mother, laugh. See Father. He is big and strong. Father, will you play with Jane? Father is smiling. Smile, Father, smile. See the dog. Bow wow goes the dog. Do you want to play with Jane? See the dog run. Run, dog, run. Look, look, here comes a friend. The friend will play with Jane. They will play a good game. Play, Jane, play. This is how the novel The Bluest Eye begins. It paints a picture of a family with presumably white family members. Everything is just as it should be for Jane, with a good life and a good house. Why would Toni Morrison include this as the prologue to her story if her story is about a young black girl? This opening sentence sets the tone that this is how the world should be. You should be white and live in a big house with a perfect family. If you are Jane, then your life will be free from trouble. This scene directly contrasts the life of Piccola, who is the main focus of the story. Piccola is just 11 years old, and already she has faced so much trouble in her life that she is breaking down. She comes into contact with one of the narrators, Claudia McTeer, when Piccola is sent to live with the McTeers for a little while. The story is unfolded from a variety of instances seen by Claudia and told by a detached, omniscient narrator. Piccola is always described as ugly by anybody who sees her. She faces kids at school who bully her for how she looks, and she is even called ugly by her own mother, who saw her ugliness since she was born. This ugliness creates a feeling of deep self-loathing within her, and she believes that her ugliness is the reason for her parents to fight so much, the reason she is so unhappy. She believes that if ugliness is the problem, beauty is a solution. What Piccola wants is blue eyes. Blue eyes like the pretty white girls she sees idolized by parents and peers as beautiful and perfect figures. This idea that whiteness is accepted as the standard of beauty is central to the book. Through Piccola's downfall and Claudia's abilities to see beauty removed from the white standard, Toni Morrison illustrates the message that the white standard of beauty is flawed, but is unfortunately accepted by girls as they mature. It can cause a strong wish to change, but this hopeless desire leads ultimately to madness. The white standard of beauty can be found idolized in the young actress Shirley Temple. She has pure white skin and curly blonde hair, and admittedly she is beautiful. This is the standard that Piccola holds to her own beauty. She sees this little white girl with beauty and a seemingly perfect life and wants to be like her, to look like her. Shirley Temple is not only loved by Piccola but also by Frida, Claudia's older sister. It can be assumed that other girls their age all love Shirley Temple's beauty. So, from a young age, this conception of beauty is driven into girls, that the standard of beauty is whiteness. Claudia throughout the book is the one who cannot be swayed by this acceptance of whiteness as the standard of beauty. She instead finds herself with a hatred for Shirley Temple and a love for the dirt that gets on her when she plays outside. Because of Claudia's different view on beauty, we are able to draw back the curtain of that standard to see how it fails for young black girls. This standard of beauty is detrimental to young girls because they accept it and then grow up to teach their own children to accept it. Piccola knows that she is ugly. Everybody has told this to her. She folds her into herself on acceptance of this ugliness and therefore becomes quiet and shy, with no way to stand up for herself. With this flawed view of beauty, Piccola is unhappy. She wants to change herself. She believes that if her appearance changes, then so will her life. What she wants is blue eyes. She sees blue eyes as the answer to her problems. They will bring her beauty like a white woman's and the world will change. People will love her. Piccola goes to visit a man named Soaphead Church, who tells her that he works through God, and that if God wants her wish granted, he will do it. She gets her wish. To herself, she has acquired blue eyes. We understand that this is not possible, but because of Piccola's deteriorated mental state, she truly believes her eyes are blue. The only way that her eyes could truly become blue is if she went blind. In a way, her eyes are blue because of her blindness. She is not literally blind, but she has blindness to those around her. She has been reduced to a shell of ignorance. Piccola is happy with her new blue eyes, but through the narration of Claudia, we know that she is reduced to nothing but a shell of herself, who picks around the garbage piles with no self-awareness. In this way, the novel drives home the point that the fulfillment of wish for white beauty may be even more tragic than the wish itself. Claudia wraps up the story for us with her realization that Pecola is all the waste and beauty of the world. All of their waste they dumped on her, and all of her beauty was given to them. Again, this is Morrison, who shows us that being black is a scapegoat for the problems the characters face, but that this view was a fantasy. What we have to do is question this accepted white standard of beauty because it has rearranged lies and called it truth. When writing this book, Morrison was inspired by the works of Langston Hughes, who was a poet that was one of the leaders of the Harlem Renaissance. The poem, I Look at the World, can be found to be influential to this book. It is a close representation of how Claudia feels and how the reader should feel at the end of the book. The line, this fenced-off narrow space assigned to me, is the prejudice that blacks face, and how their opportunities are limited by white people because of how they look. We can't hold white looks as the standard for beauty because that creates oppressions. Claudia knows right now that this beauty standard is not what it should be. If she is able to not succumb to the belief that white looks are better, she can have a better life than if she tried to solve her problems by looking like a white person. Just as Morrison got inspiration from other people found inspiration in her work. The song Thieves in the Night was written by Talib Kweli with Mos Def. Its lyrics question, why do we follow the law of the bluest eye? And its chorus includes direct quotes from the end of the book. By taking the frustration of being black out on Pecola for being ugly and not fitting the white beauty standards, those who lived in the town honed their egos on her, padded their characters with her frailty, and yawned in the face of their strength. Claudia explains, and fantasy it was, for we were not strong, only aggressive. We were not free, merely licensed. We were not compassionate. We were polite, not good, but well behaved. We courted death in order to call ourselves brave, and hid like thieves from life. We substituted good grammar for intellect. We switched habits to simulate maturity. We rearranged lies and called it truth, seeing in the new pattern of an old idea the revelation and the word.
Not strong, only aggressive. Not free, we only licensed. Not compassionate, only polite. Now who the nicest? Not good, but well behaved. Chasing after death so we could call ourselves brave. Still living like mental slaves. Hiding like thieves in the night from life. Illusions of oasis making you look twice. Hiding like thieves in the night from life. Illusions of oasis making you look twice.